Sometimes people struggle with themselves and they struggle with the world because they're not like hammers. Now I know you're probably like, well, what are you talking about? So look at these hammers. It's very obvious that they're both hammers. Now you'll look and you see that they look different. They look fairly different from each other as far as design, um, size, but they're still very clearly hammers. There's no arguing that. Now you can take these hammers and you can put them anywhere. Um, you could find these hammers in Austria or Australia. You could find these hammers in the savannas of Africa or Savannah, Georgia. You could find these hammers in Naples, Florida or Naples, Italy. They're still hammers. Unquestionably, undeniably, they're hammers. And even for a person that doesn't know words, if you gave one of these to a 2-year-old, the way it's used, what it's designed for, is fairly intuitive. It's fairly intuitive that this is the handle. It's fairly intuitive that this is used to strike. I bet you if you gave a hammer, one of these hammers, to a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, which would be a terrible decision, but if you did that, it wouldn't take long for that 2-year-old to grasp this part and to start striking with this part. If they had the physical strength to do it. But again, making a point. Now, the thing about hammers are, and let's use the literary device personification. When the hammers are in the toolbox, they're probably not waiting for screws. They're probably not getting jealous when you pick up your level, which I happen to have one right over here. When you pick up your level to make sure something is even or is flat, hammer's not jealous. When you're trying to drill a hole, the hammer doesn't feel left out or excluded when you pick up the drill. Because the hammer knows its job. The hammer knows its role. The hammer knows that it has dominion over the nails. It knows what its purpose is. Also, if you pull out a hammer, everyone around knows what the purpose of the hammer is. Its presence is indicative of its purpose. It's indicative of what job it came to do. So, think about humans. Sometimes if we don't get picked for the job we want, we start feeling some type of way. Sometimes when we get passed over for a task that we want to be a part of, we feel some type of way. We get jealous. Sometimes if we're not a part of a big project or anything like that, we feel left out. But the problem is, we're forgetting that sermon that the hammer gives us. The hammer is fully aware of what it does. It absolutely stays in its lane. It plays its part. We should be more like the hammer. People don't come to the hammer for every single project, for every single job. And the hammer's cool with that because it knows that's not its place. But when you come to the hammer, the hammer knows we're about to do some work with some nails, about to do my job. We got to be more like hammers. We got to know our drive. We got to know what our purpose is. We got to know what we came to do, and we got to be okay with not being everyone's everything. We're not a multi-tool, and that's okay. Now, let's go back to personification for a second. If I use this hammer to prop up this book, or if I use this hammer to prop up a cell phone and watch a YouTube video, you think the hammer feels like it might get confused about its purpose? You think the hammer might think, man, is this what I'm for? Is this what I'm designed to do? You think if you take the hammer and I use the hammer to reach under those cabinets over there because my arms are too short or something like that to get something that fell back there. Do you think that hammer would get confused about what it's designed for? You think that hammer would think it's more of a reacher and not a hammer? Nah. Hammer still knows it's a hammer. It knows why it's there. But sometimes when people use us in a way we don't want to be used, or they want to utilize us the way we want to be utilized or the way we should be utilized, it's detrimental to our self-worth. But the thing is, right, we're still who we are. We still have the purpose we have, no matter if we get misused or not. If you went to Lowe's or Home Depot and you saw these in a bin or laid out or however they're displayed in the store and it was labeled screwdrivers, would you get confused? Would you see these labeled as screwdrivers and be at all confused about what they were? Nah, because it's obvious that they're hammers. Being mislabeled would not confuse you at all about these hammers. Yet when it happens to us, we'll get confused. We'll second guess ourselves. We'll try to figure out why we can't establish what we are or what we should be known as. Be the hammer. Don't miss the hammer's sermon. Don't miss that sermon. The hammer's going to be what it's going to be, and it's going to do what it do because it's comfortable with its purpose. Absolutely 100% is comfortable with its purpose. It's comfortable with its design. Don't miss that. And you know what? If you don't miss that, and you go out and you fulfill your purpose, and you utilize the skills that you have, the gifts that you were given, and the passions that you were given, you'll have joy. You'll have joy. The limited amount of time you have here will be spent having fun, spent doing what you love, and will be happy. And it won't just be good and happy for you. It'll be pleasing to God. But that's only if you remember that you're the hammer.